Donna Raines flatlined in Season 4, Episode 6. Full stop. No pulse. Boyd doing compressions on the floor of Colony House while Christy and Marielle scramble for the defibrillator. And when she comes back, when her heart actually restarts, nobody in that room asks her what she saw. Not Boyd, not Ethan, standing at her bedside promising to be brave. Nobody asked the one question this show has spent 4 seasons training us to ask literally everyone else. What happened to you while you were gone? Because remember the rule Nathan gave us before he died. When people die in this town, their worst nightmares get to come true. That's canon. Kenny says it out loud, right before Donna's heart gives out. So Donna is clinically dead for several minutes in a place where death is a door, and the show just moves on. Cuts to Boyd sitting with her, never circles back. I don't think that's an oversight. I think that's the show hiding the same thing Donna's been hiding since August 3rd, 2018. So let's actually go back and build this out. Because once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Start with who Donna actually is on paper. Because the writers have been telling us for 4 seasons out loud that she is not what she looks like. She's extremely brusque. Someone who lashes out in full-on tantrums the second she's frustrated. The shotgun blowout, the bus tires thing in the Season 1 premiere is Exhibit A. Elizabeth Saunders herself, in press for this show, keeps saying the same thing in different words. Donna is a complex being, not a woman. A person who happens to be female. Her words, not mine. And going into Season 4, she flagged that Donna's real enemy might not be the monsters at all. It might be the weight Donna puts on herself. That's not flavor text. That's a showrunner-adjacent actor telling you, on the record, that there's a second Donna under the Colony House matriarch we get on screen. And a woman who runs a fortified farmhouse through blunt force and secrecy, who nobody has ever seen cry. Who took over rationing and rulemaking within days of getting trapped here. That's a person built to hide something. The question is what? Here's the part everybody skips past because it feels like background dressing. Donna works the greenhouse, not oversees, works it. She's the one who calls the harvest early after the music box monster arc because she's worried about an early frost. She's the one standing in the dirt when Fatima finds the crops rotting. Every single food crisis this show has ever run, Donna is the character standing closest to the soil when it happens. So when your gut says Donna had the green thumb all along, that's not a leap. That's the show quietly confirming it for 3 seasons before it ever mattered. Now, here's the scene that should be getting way more attention than it does. Season 3, Episode 1. The Colony House crops come back rotten. Donna's diagnosis, her word, is that the soil itself is poisoned. Not blighted, not stormed out. Poisoned. That's Donna, the one person who spent years with her hands in that dirt, telling Boyd something is deliberately wrong with the ground itself. Cut to Episode 2. Donna is completely unraveled. She says herself the day before she was ready to crawl into a hole over those crops. She's tearing into Boyd, blaming him, losing it in a way we basically never see from her. And then, mid-meltdown, she just stops. Tells him it's not that big a deal. Tells him she's not even angry at him. A full 180. No transition, no reason given on screen. And in that same episode, Jim wanders off from camp and stumbles onto a lake ringed with an enormous, unexplained cabbage patch. Nobody planted it. Nobody claims it. Kenny is thrilled. The town's entire food problem is solved in one walk through the woods, and the show just lets that sit there like it's a lucky break. I don't buy lucky breaks in this show. Nothing in Fromville is a coincidence. That's the entire operating thesis of the series. So line the 2 things up. Donna, the soil expert, has a total emotional collapse over the food supply and then, within the hour of narrative time, abruptly stands down right before the food supply fixes itself. That's not grief resolving. That's someone who suddenly knows the problem's already been handled. I know the read a lot of people land on is Julie. She's the one character who's spent real energy trying to understand this town instead of just surviving it, so it's a reasonable guess. But go back to the actual episode and Julie isn't even framed as responsible. The crops are found, past tense, already grown, already mature enough to harvest that same day. Nobody in Colony House ever says Julie planted these. Nobody says anyone planted these. The show is oddly careful to never assign credit. In a series that usually loves a slow burn reveal of "it was you all along," The complete silence on authorship here is its own tell, which is exactly the gap Donna fits into. She's not directly at the lake in that scene, but she's the one who called it poisoned in the first place, and she's the one who mysteriously stopped panicking the moment it stopped mattering. This is where it stops being a one-off and starts being a pattern. Season 4, Episode 4. Donna is the one who personally organizes and leads the food collection mission specifically targeting the Lake of Tears. Not Boyd, Donna. She brings Tabitha and Ethan along and structures the whole search so it won't trip the town's alarms. Episode 5, same season. Donna's crew is the one that fishes those life-size dolls out of the water at the settlement. Dolls that then wake up after dark and kill Roger. Water again. Donna again. And the very next episode, that stress is the thing that stops her heart. 3 separate lake and water incidents, 3 separate seasons, and Donna is either leading the expedition or standing at ground zero every single time. Boyd is supposed to be the town's de facto sheriff, but when it's water, when it's soil, when it's growth or things pulled up out of the ground or the lake, the show keeps handing point position to Donna specifically. That's a writer's room pattern, not an accident of blocking. Now the part that actually breaks the theory open. Go back to how Donna arrived in town in the first place. August 3rd, 2018, on a hunting trip, trapped with her sister. And her sister is killed by Smiley that same first night. Sit with how identical that shape is to Victor's origin. Victor arrives as a kid with his mother Miranda and his sister Eloise. Miranda is killed by Smiley. Eloise is killed the same massacre, and Victor spends decades not fully sure what happened to her body. 2 women, on 2 different timelines, dragged into this town and losing a female family member to the exact same creature on the exact same kind of first night. And we already know how deep that rabbit hole goes for one of those women, because Miranda isn't just dead. Miranda comes back. Tabitha Matthews, new arrival, ordinary mom, nothing supernatural about her on the surface, gets confirmed in the season 3 finale as Miranda's next incarnation. The show has already proven its own mythology. It will take a completely mundane-seeming woman, give her a dead family origin story identical to a supernatural predecessor, and then reveal years later that she was never just a survivor. She was a vessel. Donna has the same shape of origin story as the one character this show has already confirmed was secretly something else the whole time. I don't think that's decoration. I think that's foreshadowing sitting in plain sight since season 1. Which brings us back to that hospital bed. Elizabeth Saunders herself, when asked directly what caused the heart attack, wouldn't just say stress. She floated 3 possibilities in the same breath. The toll of caring for the Matthews family, the physical trauma from the doll attack, and her phrase, potentially even the town itself hurting her. That's the actress leaving the door open to the town being an active participant in what happened to Donna's body. Not the monsters, the town. And we already know the rule. Die here, and whatever you're most afraid of gets to become real. Donna is gone for several minutes. Actually gone. The scene doesn't hedge on it. She is dead until Boyd's compressions bring her back. In a show where that specific window has already been established as a door to something, this show chose not to show us what was on the other side of it for Donna. Every other character who touches the town's deeper rules, Elgin's dreams, Jade's visions, Ethan's drawings, we get to see the vision. With Donna, we get silence. That's either lazy writing, or it's a secret the show isn't ready to spend yet. Here's my actual claim, and I'm calling it storywalking because I don't think psychic or witch covers it. Every prophet this show has given us so far is passive. Elgin gets dreams handed to him before he even arrives. Ethan draws things he can't explain. Jade gets fed visions by the boy in white whether he wants them or not. They receive the story. None of them steer it. Donna's pattern is different. She doesn't get a vision of the crops fixing themselves. She has a breakdown about the problem and then acts like the problem is already solved before it's solved. She doesn't dream about the Lake of Tears. She organizes the expedition to it herself. If the other prophetic characters are reading the town's story off a page somebody else wrote, Donna's the one with her hand actually on the page. Not omniscient, not in control of the monsters, but wired into the town's cause and effect in a way that lets her feel the ending of a crisis before the crisis is technically ended. And if that's true, her flatline isn't just a medical scare. It's the one time she went all the way into the story instead of just brushing against it. Which is exactly why the show won't show us what she found there yet. So, heading into the back half of Season 4, and whatever Season 5 does with its final stretch, here's what I'm watching for. Does Donna's recovery come with any hint of what she experienced flatlined? Does she show up first at the next water-adjacent mystery before anyone even briefs her on it? And does anybody ever actually ask her point-blank where that cabbage patch came from? Until one of those happens, I'm sticking with it. Donna Raines isn't the town's most reliable narrator. She's its most reliable author. Drop your red in the comments, especially if you've got a Season 4 scene I skipped past. This town rewards rewatching more than any show currently airing, and I guarantee there's a frame I missed.